Where we at tonight, y'all? The Shattered Illusions podcast is back in full effect.
Will I take him to the breakers?
Guys, I'm so freaking excited for this episode, and I feel like I done said that about every episode, but I really mean it this time. But before we get started, as always, like the video first of all. Y'all been kind of slacking with that, but doing better at the same time. We want to make sure we get these likes up to a good ratio here. Also, follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Rumble. I've been uploading on Rumble now more, guys, too. So make sure y'all kind of plug in and follow us on that so we can keep growing this platform. Not going to hold the interview up too much longer. Before we get started, though, and I get to our guest for the night, as always, got to check in on the family. First of all, how are you, Alex?
I'm good. How are you?
You show some enthusiasm, please.
I'm good. How are you?
In the words of C. Marty, get her out of here.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Okay.
C. Marty, the co-host with the most. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I woke up this morning, so I'm blessed. And I'm fit, so I'm blessed.
Amen.
You know the motto.
Go ahead and plug your business, bro, like you always do.
Hey, man, if you're trying to get in shape or you got fitness goals, follow your boy C. Marty Fit, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you're trying to unbig that back, get rid of that belly, holla at your boy. And if you got any questions about any fitness myths or any fitness questions, I'm going to answer it there for you.
I was waiting for the unbigging your back thing, man.
No,
I was waiting for it.
You know that.
All right, man. So our guest for the night, I'm excited for this one, guys, and for a couple of reasons. Because like the YouTube algorithm that I have, I'm not gonna lie, I be on there watching some BS sometimes, but the majority of the stuff I have more of a motivational content, podcast, trying to get better at my craft. So I was sitting in my office one day watching some video. It might have been a gold digger prank or something like that. I do watch shit sometimes, so I'm not gonna lie. But in my suggestion field, I get this video called Outgrowing People. And when I watched the video, I went down a rabbit hole and watched probably 10 different videos of it. Just a real good, real cool, real level-headed young man. This young man I'm going to introduce to you has amassed 475,000 followers on TikTok, 56,000 on Instagram, and is steadily building a pretty good YouTube following. His content focuses more on motivation, finding peace, pushing through adversities, and much more. Without further ado, let me introduce the man of the hour. We'll keep it real. How you doing, bro?
Will I take him to the breakers?
Bro, thank you for coming down here, man. Like, I really am amazed because I love seeing dudes that are a little bit younger. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 20, believe it or not.
20 years old, man. It's always good seeing people that are 20 and have their head on straight. Pause.
That wasn't that bad.
Okay. The way that you do, man. Because like a lot of people think that with age comes wisdom, and that's, as you probably know, that's not true, man. People just be growing older but not getting any wiser. So your content, bro, I really messed with it. I'm glad you came down here. So let's start with the beginning, bro. Where'd you grow up? What was life like growing up with your parents? Stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So I grew up here locally in Maryland. So specifically, I grew up originally in Beltsville, and then I transitioned eventually to Lanham, and then I now live in Bowie. I've been living in Bowie since about beginning of senior year of high school. So about like 3-4 years ago.
Damn.
My dad was always located. My dad was always located in Bowie, but we didn't move in together till around third grade. So I moved from Beltsville into my dad's house, then left my dad's house to Lanham, and I moved back in with my dad senior year. Growing up with my parents, they didn't get married till I was in about 3rd, 4th grade, and then we had some issues.
Okay.
So that's why I moved out of Bowie within like a year. So I ended up living with my grandma for a while. Believe it or not, my mom broke her foot. So my mom moved to Florida. So I was without my mom for about 2-ish years. From really all of middle school until like 8th grade, I was without my mom.
Damn, okay.
So living with my grandma, that wasn't rough. It was more so just annoying. I've been in Christian school my whole life. So
What school you was at?
I started at Lanham Christian School.
Yeah.
Then I went to Cornerstone Christian Academy over in Bowie.
You know Riverdale?
Yeah.
I went there. You went to Christian school too, right, Simoni? Or
I went to Catholic school.
same thing?
Yeah.
St. John's.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
But then I went to Annapolis Area Christian School for 8th grade through 12th grade. So that's where I graduated from. That's up Severn. Yeah, Severn area.
Why you saying Alex?
Oh, we used to play them in sports.
What school you went to?
I went to St. Vincent Pallotti for high school.
Oh, you went to Plotty. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
My fault.
So yeah, I went there 12th grade. Ended up going to PG for community college, and
Went there too.
that's where I graduated from this past December, and I'll be graduating officially, like ceremony wise, next month.
Love to see that. With my new applause button. You like that? You like that? I'm trying to be one with my soundboard like C Marty is, because C Marty got all the good sound effects and be having me dying, bro. I can't go nowhere. I'll call somebody a big back now.
Oh my gosh. Every day you'll see somebody who'll be like, oh, big back activity.
So kind of going back to you, bro. Like I've done my research on you, and now I pretty much know a lot about you already. But for the audience, so you played football in high school, and you kind of wanted to go to the league and everything, right?
At one point in time, I wouldn't say the league. Well, maybe as like a 12 and under kid. Yeah. Everybody dreamed the league. But I didn't. So what happened was I got a bad concussion my freshman year.
Okay.
And my mom basically told me, I had a concussion for about 3 months. My mom basically told me, she said, "You're done with football." She was like, "You're not playing." Cause I started failing in school. I had C's. I had to take summer school. I was in honors English, failed honors English. Junior year, our football team sucked. They had like 20 players. I was like, "Mom, I always loved football. I always loved football." I was like, "Mom, I really want to play football." She was like, I was like, "They're having tryouts, and it's like 2 weeks into the season. They're having tryouts." That's how bad it was. So she was like, "All right, you can go play football." I was like, "Bet." So I was playing football. Junior year, I didn't really do much. Got joined halfway through the season, and I was real small. So heading into senior year, which is why I moved back with my dad, I was like, I really wanted, like, football is my priority right now.
Yeah.
Like, that's my main priority. So I started. This is COVID year, so I'm class of 2020. So prime COVID, peak COVID. We online. I'm having to drive all the way up to the school from Bowie.
Yeah.
But that whole summer, I'm just doing like 400 or 500 push-ups every day. I'm like, I think I gained about 10, 15 pounds that summer.
This was up.
Just not being in the gym, was just straight body exercises. So come senior year, only had one game. I had good film that game. I had great film. So I was kind of the dude on the team. I did everything. I was punter.
I was gonna say what position you play.
I was punter, receiver, middle linebacker. Middle linebacker at like 150 pounds.
A middle linebacker and a receiver. I've never heard of that combination today in my life.
Slot corner and tight end. And every special team. So I never came off the field. I think I had a solid 11 tackles that game. I didn't do nothing on offense, but off that film alone, I had a couple of D3 offers. So Albernia University. I got another couple other walk-on spots.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I was like, I really don't know what I want to do with myself. Like, I didn't know what career I wanted to go into. Throughout high school, it was kind of like a thing where I didn't take much serious. I was kind of that class clown dude.
I was gonna say that next. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I'll get into that as well because I mentioned that. But yeah, I never looked ahead really much, so it was like I was uncertain about what I wanted to do. So by the time I had hit my senior year, it wasn't something I focused in on, and so I started taking it serious. It was like I either just go to college just to go to college and follow everybody else, or I'm like just go to PG. My dad offered. He was like, "I'll pay for your school." Obviously, those D3 schools are like $50K. I was like, I don't even want to go to play football because when I'm not playing football, I already know I'm not really gonna be happy. Because that would have been the only reason I even went out to one of those schools. But So ultimately, my dad offered to pay for school and everything. I got accepted into A&T, Towson, a couple other schools, Norfolk State. I was in schools.
Shout out all them colleges.
But yeah.
I had a lot of hoes come out of there. Go ahead.
But yeah,
Me too.
But yeah, I had my dad offered to pay for school, but I was just like, nah, I don't even want to go. I'd rather go to community college and kind of really figure out what I want to do, rather than just wasting my time and just following everybody and just doing it just to do it. So
because I think PG kind of gets a bad rap, especially in the area. They always call it the 13th grade, stuff like that. I mean, like I said, it serves its purpose, bro. Like you kind of can go in there and get your credits you need to transfer to a bigger university and then not be in so much debt. So I think you might have did the right thing. So I kind of want to go back to the class clown thing. When you're saying high school and stuff, I'm still thinking in like me and C Marty and even Alex's term to a certain extent, because high school was like literally, damn, showing my age.
Yeah.
13 years ago for me. It's crazy, bro. So what do you think the people that you went to high school with, if they saw your content now, what would they think about it? Would they think you were trying to put on a facade? Would they think that it wasn't really you? What do you think they would say?
talking about when I like first started.
Yeah.
So when I first started, obviously I had those group of people saying. So what I did was create 2 separate pages. So I got a personal Instagram
Smart.
and I got a content Instagram. And so I wouldn't post on the personal one. I would maybe like repost on it every now and then, but it wasn't like something my friends had to see consistently, or like people that follow me had to see consistently. And so on that new page, I had my close friends who knew about it. Obviously, I had those people who were like, "Oh, this is corny. Why are you doing this?"
Right.
But ultimately,
Of course.
I didn't really get too much backlash. I didn't have to deal with a whole lot of people. Like, I can't really say a whole bunch of people were doubting me or that people were hating on me. I mean, I had a little bit of it. People be like, oh, make a joke. Oh, you need to listen to one of Will's videos or something, like as a joke or whatever.
Passive
That's
aggressive.
how it be.
Yeah.
Passive
That's how
aggressive
it
stuff,
be.
man. I can't stand niggas like that, bro. And honestly, bro, if I'm being honest, I feel like that somebody saying something like that is a little bit worse than just like real outright hate, because
Yeah.
I hate when somebody's passive aggressive with their hate or try to be like joking around with their hate, because those people that you really gotta watch, because that like they'll be preying on your downfall while trying to be in your face at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
And what we learned during this podcast, especially because see, Marty been catching a lot more smoke lately, and I've been catching it too. And like
Crazy.
I have to ask myself, because we all say the same thing. Do you really care what other people say about you? And I say that I don't.
Yeah.
But when I be seeing them hate comments, my first thing is I want to go and I want to jump on and start going back. And see, Marty does that.
I'm in there. Let's get it.
Because he's also doing that for like the engagement and stuff like that. But with me, man, one of my favorite 48 laws of power is just disdain the things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. And I always say that elephants don't swat at flies. So I kind of keep it moving. But my initial reaction is just go ahead and check that immediately, bro. Especially when you talk about the kind of content that I talk about. And then see, Marty's kind of getting it too more because of his fitness content. But so what inspired you to start creating content?
Honestly, man, I went through some stuff with a girl, believe it or not.
Let's get to it.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother.
Yeah, I went through some stuff. I went through some stuff with a girl. Honestly, so let me rewind back to high school.
Okay, all right.
In high school, I wasn't on nothing. I didn't catch my first body. So after high school, I wasn't talking to a whole bunch of girls. I ain't looked the best. I was skinny as hell. I ain't start getting lifting and stuff till about senior year. Like I said, that was COVID time.
Okay.
By that time, I'm online, so I'm not talking to nobody. But so freshman through junior year, wasn't talking to nobody really, getting no hoes. I wasn't on shit. So come.
You good? We'll go ahead.
So come about beginning of 2022, I believe. Yeah, beginning of 2022. I met this girl. I hopped on Tinder, bro. I hopped on
You
Twitter.
can do what you gotta do sometimes,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. So I hopped on Tinder. Met a girl. Linked, went through some stuff. Was cool for about a month, and then it kind of just shut me down. I don't know why. She ghosted me, and it rubbed me off the wrong way. It was something I'd never been through before. So, like I said, I'd never been through none of this through high school, or really experienced something serious where it was like, oh, we really fuck with each other. And so it caught me off guard when I thought everything was going straight. And
Bro, that's how it be, bro. That's crazy.
I thought everything was going straight, bro. And then everything just went to shit right in front of my face out of nowhere, bro. When I tell you, I'm sitting in my room and my dad be at work, so I'm just home alone. My siblings are at my grandma's house still with my mom. So it's just me in the house, bro. I'm just sitting here playing the game. I ain't got no goals I'm working towards. And so when you got no goals and nothing to look forward to,
that's all you think about.
What your brain does is go back to the last memory or tragic event that happened in your life, and it's just stuck on it. And so in that moment, I'm trying to figure out a problem that literally has no solution or has 1,000 possible solutions.
Yep. So
I'm sitting here questioning myself. What did I do? What's wrong with me? Where did I go wrong? Where did I'm sitting here reminiscing on memories, thinking, oh, if I changed this, I would have got a better outcome, bro. The whole time it was somewhere herself. But
real quick, bro. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you what it was. I'm glad you're down with the Shatter Illusions podcast where we kill all illusions. But she had a nigga, bro.
Nah, it wasn't that. I'm telling you. I know this girl now. Like, I'm cool with her now. But
Will, we gotta teach you some things, man.
I'm trying. I
Go ahead, bro. My fault, bro.
No, we good. You good. But so off of that,
Hey, bro.
Off of that, I started. I was like, bro, I was at like rock bottom. I was at rock bottom bad. So I was like, nah, bro, I can't be like this right now. Like, there's no way I'm over this over somebody. I was like, I can't allow somebody else to be completely have the power to basically be able to shut me down as a man. And so I was like, I got to start doing something. So I started looking into businesses, looking into different hobbies to kind of get into so I could start progressing and moving forward in life, bro. I couldn't afford, bro. I was in that state for a cool 2-3 months. But what I got into originally was graphic design. So I was doing sports graphics, did work for a couple NFL players.
That's what's up.
Got recognized for that. And then I was like, I just wasn't learning it as fast as I wanted to. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this with a career. One thing I always told my parents, I was like, I want to be a life coach. But I went to school for a marketing major. And so it kind of wasn't aligning. But I wanted to be a life coach and basically kind of do what I do now, but I do a lot more than I ever would have thought I would do back then. So I wanted to be a life coach. So I was just like, I started reading. So I got it like the generic Rich Dad, Poor Dad, like everybody just be reading. So I got into that. And so I started reading that. And then I just kind of started thinking outside the box of it. It would say things like, it was describing the fear people have of like money and things like that, and how like they basically get jobs or get 9-to-5s or whatever because they fear or whatever. And so I would read that and I just start thinking outside the box, how we have fears in life and how we settle for people out of fear of like being alone and things like that. So I just started reading the book. And I started breaking it down to like our relationships with people and things like that. I really just started journaling my whole life. And so through journaling, my mom bought me a camera randomly, like a $200 camcorder. Like it was a cheap camera. $200 camera. I was like, sure, I'm about to just start making videos. So I made my first video June of 2022. So I've almost been doing content 2 years now. So yeah, June of 2022, and all that was just basically taking everything I was journaling from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then just turning it into content. So that's kind of what inspired me. I kind of just started speaking my pain, speaking my feelings, speaking the different perspectives I was gaining on the situation I had been through, and kind of like that whole process of being broken down and reaching rock bottom. It pointed me toward, it was necessary, honestly. Like all that shit was necessary to even be where I am today. Had I not gone through that whole situation, I wouldn't be where I am today, because I wouldn't have been forced to find that self-love, find that self-respect, find my self-worth, and like not relying on other people to bring me peace, or needing other people in general in my life in order to even be at peace. Like, so that whole situation kind of made me revert my whole life and kind of start. I got so stuck on the why that I was just like, I want to know why I even feel like this. So that's why I started discovering so much and all these different perspectives and stuff. 'Cause I was like, I want to make sure I'm never able to feel like this again.
Go ahead, Simon.
I was about to say one thing that you did that was great was like when you get your heart broken like that or something tragic happens, you got to keep moving, like to get your mind off of it. And you said you made a great point. You said the last thing on your mind was, you know, the heartbreak when you were playing the video games and stuff. But you know, you found a way to get productive and put that turn that negative energy into positive energy. So, and it's working out for you today. So, kudos to you for sure.
Hey, put the camera on me, Alex. Pause the stream real quick. Okay, so what I was about to say is, I honestly see a lot of me in you, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. Because in high school, I wasn't really that dude either. You know, I was nobody's first choice. You know, I kind of like, I had friends. I wasn't a loser or nothing, but like I wasn't Mr. Popular, so to speak, right? So a lot of the things I had to learn through trial and error and like trying to get older and wiser. Whereas like girls came a lot easier and natural for most men. It didn't really come natural to me at first either. So when I was in high school, I caught my first body like around probably 17 or 18 as well. I was a little bit of a late bloomer too. So I kind of relate to you on that aspect of not being looked over. I kind of want to go back to old girl, just real quick. The one that broke your heart.
Oh, that.
So I'm gonna tell you this, bro, and this is technically a male self-improvement podcast, and we've been getting most of our hits lately has been from like dating, you know, dating topics and things like that. I'm just gonna tell you for future reference, bro. When a girl starts acting funny out of nowhere, it's normally not because she just got a lot going on. When a girl says she got a lot going on, what does that mean, Alex?
She got another man.
A nigga, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. And it's like, I'm glad you actually took that heartache and pain and actually made yourself into something. Because what do most dudes do? They go ahead and start smoking weed, getting drunk all day, you know.
And shit.
But you actually channeled that into something positive.
Yeah, you gotta be able to. When you get pain, bro. Pain is so necessary, bro. Pain gonna show you where you need to. Pain gonna show you where you need to grow in life. Pain is gonna point you in the directions where you need to build yourself up in order to not necessarily experience that pain again, because pain is inevitable. But know how to handle it, know how to manage through it, because in life, bro, shit's not guaranteed. You're gonna lose people. People not gonna support you. People not gonna believe in you. People gonna talk down on you. People gonna try to tell you, you're not what you aren't capable of, who you should and shouldn't be. And when it comes from like your friends, maybe your partner, maybe your fucking parents, bro, that shit gonna hurt sometimes.
Facts,
and you
bro.
gotta learn how to deal with that pain and navigate that pain, not take that shit in and try and bury it deep down as you can, because that's how you get suppressed emotions. That's how you lose track of yourself and kind of become somebody you're not, whether that's just like being like, all right, I'm treating everybody like this in my future now because of what such and such did to me in my past. Like people start taking what people did to them in their past and relaying it on the people of their future. And that comes from just not dealing with it, coming with a bunch of finding a bunch of different coping mechanisms and things like that, where you kind of get away from your true self and instead become a victim of your pain, rather than you allow your pain to basically determine who you became, rather than like taking your pain and kind of being able to manage it and determine who you want to become. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So when you receive a negative comment or something or it's criticism, how do you navigate that? Do you internalize it? Do you kind of like take it personal? How do you feel about it?
Usually if I get hate comments, which isn't often, like I get them here and there, or I get a lot of closed-minded people.
Yeah.
I get people saying, "Nah, bro, this is my experience, bro. I fuck what you talking about. This is how I'm gonna think, and I'm sticking to this way about how I think because I've seen it for myself." So again, people take their past results and apply it to everything in their future. Your past results aren't always gonna be the results of your future, but you have to be willing to accept that essentially like you can get a different and better result, but not everybody's willing to do that. But specifically with me, if I do get hate comments, I know who I am as my, like, I know myself. Like I've done the self growth work where I know who I am as a person, and I can't allow other people's comments, other people's opinions of me, other people's perspectives of me. Because you gotta remember, bro, people are seeing a 1 minute 30-second clip of me,
Facts.
and that's the only piece of me that they can see. So they took whatever video they saw and tried to form a whole definition around who they believe I am. And then that's from their perception. So that's from their perception of what they've been through, their beliefs, what they've been taught. And they just applied that onto me for whatever information or whatever I said in the video. So when I see hate comments, all I say is, this person doesn't know me. This person can't define me.
That's facts,
like,
bro.
they can't take a 30-second clip and determine who I am as a person. I know who I am. I'm with myself 24/7. Can't nobody who's be with me. Y'all can't. I can sit here for 2-3 hours. Y'all can't determine who I am. I know what I do majority of the day. I know the work I've done on myself. I know how I carry myself. Like, nobody can define me but me. So I determine my self-image and how I view myself.
Bars.
See, Marty, how do you deal with your hateful comments? We already know.
Oh man, oh
Let's hear
brother.
this.
Well, I do respond to negative comments. I don't, it also depends on my day. If I'm busy, it's plenty of them I miss. But if I have the time, I'm responding. One, because my brand is fitness, and it's a lot of misinformation out there. So I gotta get the real information out there. So somebody might be responding to me where they might respond with a fitness myth, or they might respond taking a jab at the whole fitness community. So I'm just responding to put the real info out there. And sometimes if I got time, if you come on there disrespectful, I'm gonna fire your ass up. It is what it is. I've been a clown longer than I've been a trainer. But and just like he said, I'll go back and forth maybe 2 comments. But after that, just like Will said, I know who I am at the end of the day. So if you want to call it bullying, if you want to call me ignorant, if you want to talk about my demographic, it is what it is. I know who I am at the end of the day and what I stand for. So I don't feed into it too much.
The real thing that I think you said, bro, is kind of know who you are as a person, because most people get easily influenced about other people's perception because they're not confident with themselves and what they have to bring to the table. And I've been working on that myself, because if I know who I am, you can't define who I am. Kind of like what you were just saying, bro. But it still be them times to be like, nigga, all right, you want to rumble? Let's rumble. That's how I feel sometimes, bro.
Oh,
I ain't gonna hold you. But I have seen through most of your content, bro, it really mostly is positive stuff. I don't think I saw a negative comment on any of your stuff.
I get them every now and then, especially on my more viral videos where it's out there to like millions of people, and it's like just that many more people able to offer their opinion, whatever. But even in those times, like, to be honest, my personality is very laid back, chill. You're not gonna walk over, like, I ain't a pussy or nothing, but I'm very laid back, and a lot of people just say I'm calm. So, what I realize is, when people see they can't get under your skin, they can't make you reply to comments, they can't basically have power over you to determine your emotions, react out of your feelings, determine whether or not you have a good day or bad day. When they can't affect you in any way, and they see that you're unbothered by them and whatever opinion they give you or whatever they try and say to you, it ends up really hurting them, or it ends up really affecting them because they're not getting the reaction out of you that they want to get out of you. So I learned how to just evaluate. It takes time, but when you're able to evaluate situations with anybody, I do this with my dad all the time. My dad, he like, you just act like you don't give a fuck, or you just act like you don't care. You don't care, and he's sitting over here crying and stuff, and I'm just sitting here this straight face.
Right.
And he's getting pissed off because I'm not reacting the way he wants me to react.
That's crazy, bro.
So when you learn how to do that with people and evaluate certain situations, determine what situations are and aren't worth your energy, your time, and you getting into your emotions and just like giving into it and responding to it, like, you know how to sit back and just like ignore certain people, move on to the next topic, not because like you're trying to avoid something, but you just realize it's irrelevant. It holds no value to you. It's like somebody coming up to me and trying to just like make me value something I don't give a fuck about, especially because I'm a person who thinks forward. Like,
I like that.
People come to me with complain about certain problems and stuff. I'm like, bro,
Who
all
gives
right,
a fuck?
let's figure out a solution and let's figure out how we gonna move forward.
I
Like,
say that all the time.
you gonna sit here and complain and bitch and shit, but or we gonna like think and move forward.
And you got stuff going on, bro. You got your brand, you got your content. Like when people don't have shit going on, they can sit there and focus on something that's irrelevant. So that's how I look at it as well, bro.
It's funny you say, because I tell my girl the same thing all the time. I'm like, bro, like we are solution oriented people, but you know, women, the majority of the time, they want to vent about the problem and not necessarily have a solution. Whole different conversation.
It makes them feel better.
I feel like
It does.
As a man, you gotta know with your girl or with a woman when to get out of that mindset, though. Get out of that solution problem finding, because I feel like with a lot of women, they don't have specifically in my experience, like women around my age don't have that emotional control, or sometimes you got to slow it down. Sometimes you got to validate their emotions, or just like slow the whole process down and not just get in your man mindset of moving straight forward.
I got news for you, buddy. It don't get no better, so get used to it.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
So
they turn into grown ass 20-year-olds.
Bro, it is like it's so funny. You hear that myth that women mature faster than men. I think it's a load of horse shit, honestly, because I think that women do mature emotionally faster than men. But after about 18, you can't tell the difference between an 18-year-old woman and a 55-year-old woman.
Bro,
emotionally. I ain't gonna hold you.
57. Let me stop.
Let a shot at somebody.
Let me stop, bro.
Oh, you're
Okay.
wild.
You were wild as hell. All right, listen. Where we at? All right, so let me ask you as well. How do you stay authentic and genuine in a space that can sometimes feel saturated? Because we know not everybody, but people are creating like motivational content and self-help content all the time. Even I pop that back to even me. You know, everybody's doing dating advice and, you know, having podcasts and stuff now. And see, Mario, the same is like, well, people do fitness stuff all the time too. So how do you kind of stay like authentic and genuine in a space like that?
I stay true to myself, man. Like, I don't try and act like I'm 30 years old. I don't use all these big words to try and sound smart.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say I'm wrong in certain, like, in a lot of my videos, I literally admit my mistakes. I say, hey, I've inflicted my own pain sometimes. Like, lately I've been saying, like, I take responsible for every choice that I make, rather than where a lot of people get in this sense of this state of like entitlement. This external thing did something to me, and that's why I am the way I am, or that's why I'm doing this certain action. Like, nah, bro. Like, if I go for a girl, or I decide to ignore a red flag or whatever, you know, I take responsibility for whatever result or outcome happens in that situation. And I feel like when you start accepting your responsibility for your choices and stuff, you have a lot more control over your life. And when I say accept responsibility, I don't mean you make a mistake and then you start beating yourself up and saying, damn, bro, you're not good enough. You have no self-worth. You have no self-respect. I mean, it's just like, in a sense of, hey, I take responsibility for the choice I made. I can reflect on it, learn the lesson from it, and now I know how to move forward. And that's it is what it is. I'm not about to cry about it or nothing like that. Like I just accept responsibility for it. And I wanna go back to that. But what you said, staying authentic.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I don't try and be nobody I'm not. A lot of people out here with their content, they try and either mimic after someone or they're trying to be too professional. Like, I don't know if you see my videos recently, but I be on the side of my damn couch. Like,
but like with just the mic in your hand.
I'm saying I be chilling in my content now. Like, I feel like I developed the audience where it's like they just know who I am. I get on live, bro. I'm shirtless on live. Like, bro, I just stay true to me. I don't try and be anybody different. And I accept whoever accepts me, whatever results come with that, and I'm cool with it. Like, if you don't like my content, you can unfollow me. If you don't like what I have to say, you can unfollow.
Keep scrolling.
And I think that it's funny you say that, bro, because like I think that at this point, when you're doing content like this, motivational content, fitness content, dating content, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is you can put your own unique twist onto it. And I think that people now, whereas opposed to 5 or 10 years ago, people were more like about the heavily edited, best camera work. It has to be 100% perfect. I think now the market is more craving authenticity more than anything.
It is.
Because everybody's so fake now on social media.
Exactly.
So when you come through and actually just start talking like just real stuff, it's not always so professional, just kind of like talking to a camera. It's like you're having a conversation. People respect that a lot more these days.
And it makes them feel that there's not something wrong with them, bro.
Exactly.
Like, it puts them in a state of, I can relate to this person. Like, this person go through the same shit I be going through. They experience the same problems, the same pain I've experienced in my life. It don't make me feel like, oh, this person's a better person than me, or this person's experience a whole nother side of life that I haven't been able to experience. So it's like they don't see me as better than them. Like, I reiterate that constantly. Like, I reiterate, like, I go through the same struggles just like you. I go through the same pains just like you. Like, there's nothing special about me. I had this girl recently saying, like, you just seem so perfect. I'm like, bruh, I hate when people say that, because then when I do make a mistake or I prove that I'm not perfect, then it's like they're disappointed in me. Like, because they had always held this expectation that Will should know better, or that Will's has it all figured out. And so I always try to reiterate to people, please don't say I'm perfect. Please don't tell me I got this all figured out. Or I'm 20 years old. Like, I still got so much more shit to learn. And when you do end up making those mistakes, and they had that perception of thinking you're perfect or that, like, you know better, then they give you very little room for error because they have this expectation of you.
But bro, it's so funny, like, because everything on social media, everybody looks perfect.
Exactly.
Anybody can look perfect in small doses, but that's partly why we call this platform Shattered Illusions, because it really is all an illusion on social media. And I'm gonna say something that's kind of like going to shock you guys, but I'm not perfect. I'm very close. I get it, but like, look, TK, I'm not perfect. I get it, guys. 98.2% perfect. That's how perfect I am. That 1.8% margin there, I can work on some things. I'll get there one day. Actually, no, I won't. 99. But anyway, see, Marty.
Oh, brother.
How do you see, Marty? How are you able to keep your content so fresh and original? Because I think what you've been doing more than anything now is probably the big backs, the actually owning, the kind of being an asshole, things like that. So how do you think you're keeping your content so original right now and genuine?
I mean, experience probably, bro. I've been, doing fitness for 7 years now. So I've probably been through every situation. I've seen every excuse. And, I could just talk about it for days, for hours. And it never gets old to me. And then when you're moving authentically and you're doing something that you're really interested in and passionate about, you could talk about it all day. I'm sure you could talk about motivation all day. You could talk about positivity, positive mindset all day. Like, I'm sure you could do it for 24 hours if you wanted to.
I talk about hoes all day.
I'm sure you could too. So, so when you moving in something you're really passionate about and something, or something you're educated about, it's never going to end. So, and I'm a hustler. So it just ain't gonna stop.
And bro, it's like because and what you kind of saying earlier too, Will, people don't really know you from like a minute, 30-second clip. But like I know this dude, see Marty, like he's leaning more into the asshole villain role, but it's one of the most genuine kind dudes you ever gonna meet in your life. But if you just saw one of his clip of him calling somebody a big back, you think he's a complete asshole, nobody you don't want to be around. But it's all social media, man. And I mean, the thing I'm learning now, especially in this content space, whether good or bad news, people just want to react. And unfortunately, the negative news this day and age is what sells. So I kind of find myself balancing between that, me being authentic, and then me just turning up the asshole 10 times more. Because I ain't gonna lie, I am an asshole, but like I'm a very toned down asshole. I'm not gonna like, I don't argue with women that I deal with. I'm not gonna sit there and call you out of your name or anything like that. But I'll sit here and argue with women on the podcast for 2 or 3 hours and have no problem with that. That's not really who I am on the outside, but I am, if that makes sense. So for our next segment, we call this Behind the Illusions. We ain't doing no controversial stuff yet. This is where we kind of go to our guest Instagram, do a deep dive on a post or something, and where we want you to kind of tell us what was the inspiration behind this post and kind of what made you want to make it.
Okay.
So go ahead, Alex. You want to go and share the screen, please? And you might gotta restart and restart. No, just restart. Refresh. You couldn't hit the refresh button.
But when you've always taught yourself to not give up, like your general mindset and approach towards life is to never give up and always find a way to get through it. And I think we start to take that mindset and that concept and start applying it to people to the point that we start making excuses for them. We start only seeing the good in them, hoping that eventually they'll change into the person that we want them to be. And oftentimes that keeps us in environments and around certain people whose time has been up in our life, but then that mindset started to kick in where we held on to them, hoping that eventually things would change for the better. And then we end up experiencing more pain by trying to hold on to that person than the pain we would have experienced had we just let them go. You can't hang on to the potential of what it could be, the expectation that you held for them, who they say they are but aren't actually putting action towards. Because then you're in this situation where you're wasting so much time and putting in so much effort just waiting for that one positive change to finally happen. Sometimes you just have to accept people for who they are and not who they could be. So yeah, it's a good idea to not always just give up on people right away and allow them to make mistakes. And even if they have one or two red flags, you know, you can work through them. But at some point in time, you have to realize when people's time is up and get out of that mindset of not wanting to give up on people. Because sometimes you just got to understand what's best for you and actually do that. And that is real. I think it's hard to let people go when you've always
Hit the follow since you're on my account, Lex. Appreciate it.
So I'm gonna kind of tell you a little bit of a story. Like one of the girls that I deal with, right?
Mhm.
She said that I was so talking to her the other day. She says that Q, that you're a good person and everything, but I feel like you're gonna miss out on somebody good because you're such a matter of fact person. You cut people off at the smallest kind of idea. You never really like. I think you won't find love, kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
And
Oh, brother.
and that's my thing. See, Marty, my thing is saying this, bro. Like one of my favorite quotes. Maya Angelou says, "If somebody shows you who they are, believe them."
Mhm.
And I'm a person now where I call myself the benevolent king, which means is that I will forgive you for anything. I'll talk to anybody about anything. But as far as having a converse, like if you cross me in a way that I can't come back from, I'm not going to be mad and like try to get back at you or like try to cause you harm. I just remove my presence. I don't talk anymore. So I want to ask you this question, bro. First of all, what kind of inspired that post right there? Do you remember?
Giving up on people. I would say there's a lot of people in my life, or not a lot. I would say I've had people like girls, whether that was a friend, where I tried to make excuses for them, or
Yep.
in some cases, I tried to control things out of my control, which is trying to fix them into the person that I saw them capable of becoming. And so what that did was had me put so much energy and time into something that was out of my control, and that in the end, like, was their choice.
Yeah.
If somebody don't want to change, you're not going to be able to get them to change. No matter how many lessons you try and teach them, don't matter how many excuses you make for them, like, and that's the mindset you kind of get in. You start making excuses for people in order to keep them around. You start overlooking the bad things they do and only focusing on the good that they probably once did, but not even doing as much in this current state. And a lot of times that bad outweighs that good. Like I said, you so stuck on that potential that you just stay in that situation waiting for that one thing to finally change.
So let me ask you this: how do you know when it's time to cut somebody off, and how do you know between just somebody making a genuine mistake and somebody that this person no longer serves my life anymore?
When you know when it's time to let somebody go, when they bring more chaos into your life than they do peace. And I would say between mistakes and when it's time to let them go, I would say, can somebody take responsibility for their mistake? Can they recognize their mistake? Can they recognize they're wrong? And are they willing to actually go through the process of changing it?
I like that, bro.
Are they putting in the effort to put their ego aside, put their perception, their belief, or what they did in that past, and be like, you know what, I do need to change? Are they willing to listen to you and not be so defensive to where you say, hey, I think we need to change this, or you need to change this, and not like take it the wrong way or think you're trying to attack them? Like, no, I'm just trying to make you a better person. Or I have this problem within our relationship that I want to bring to your attention, rather than ignoring it and not addressing it at all and making it grow worse and giving them the idea that it's acceptable and that I don't respect myself and that they can just get away with it. Nah, like, we need to address it right then and there.
Bro, facts.
And for the sake of the relationship, like, I'm trying to get you to change this aspect of you for the better for the both of us. And are they willing to see that mistake, admit that mistake, and put in the effort to make that change? And with some people, like, the process of change is hard, especially when you've been living a certain way for a certain amount of time, whether that's a certain perception or a certain belief, a certain experience from your past that made you get in this mindset of thinking you have to act that way. It's hard to set that ego and that pride aside and be bro, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna put in the effort to make that change. I can't keep living life this way or keep living in this mindset, because then I won't be able to actually have a good relationship or anything like that. But are they willing to go through that process of change and not give up on it? Because when you go through change, you're gonna fall. You still gonna make little mistakes, and it's gonna hurt. Like, because when you get in the habit of doing something, sometimes your body itself just tries to react itself. And are you able to kind of see that and be intentional with the change you're trying to make, if that makes sense?
It made 100% sense, bro. And I think that everybody, whether mom, dad, sister, brother, boyfriend, cousin, everybody's going to hurt you at some point. But I think, like you said, it's like, are people willing to recognize their mistakes and talk about them and acknowledge they're not a perfect person? Because I can't stand a person that's just like, as soon as you put any kind of criticism in their face, they're like, why are you attacking me? You always try to gang up on me. I'm like, bro, it's not nothing like that.
Narcissist.
It is a narcissism, bro. And you know who I find do that the most? Anyway, y'all check out. By the way, I got Will's merchandise on right now. Y'all go ahead and check that out. Hopefully, it'll be restocked the time that this goes live. Maybe when you gonna restock, bro?
Probably not. I got a bunch of mediums left.
Okay,
yeah, I got smalls left. That's about it. I'm trying to sell out of those.
I feel that. I know how that feels, bro.
Can't promise the larges and XLs will be back in stock.
You make another order, bro. These ones fire and they comfortable too, man. So definitely do that. All right, y'all. It's time for some relationship advice. Will, you ready? Ready to kind of switch gears a little bit, man?
Yeah. Let's see what we got.
We gonna do this Reddit thing that we got going on here.
Oh, brother.
The dating advice Reddit, and our favorite resident female is gonna read read the post. Go ahead. You about to say something, Marty? Nah. Okay, go ahead.
I really need some advice. Don't know how to move forward with this girl. Okay, so this is extremely embarrassing because I'm 28 years old, dude, and I feel like a fool for asking this, but here's the deal. I've had a couple of girlfriends in the past and some occasional sex with other girls. I've never been the kind of guy that walks up to girls. I'm an introvert by heart. I'm not shy, but I definitely don't open myself very easy. And I also get tired when I'm talking to strangers, sometimes even friends. Anyways, I haven't dated anyone for about 3 years now. And just a week ago, I met this girl in a coffee shop. I liked her so much that I approached her and asked for her number. We started texting and we have a lot of things in common. Yesterday, we had our first date. We were talking for about 7 hours straight. We went to a coffee shop, then we took a walk, and then we had dinner. We didn't kiss, even though I was ready to make the move. I noticed she did not want to, not because she didn't like me, but rather because I think she's really sweet and conventional. But we did hold heads, and she was okay with me hugging her. I know I sound like a kid right now. I feel so weird. This girl, I don't know how to express it. She literally rocked my world. I never felt this way with the girls I've dated. I literally feel weird physically, and I'm extremely anxious right now. After I left her home, she texted me and told me she had a wonderful night. And I don't know how to act now. I don't know if I should text her often, give her space, but maybe not so much space so that she feels I'm uninterested. I'm an overthinker. I think so much that I'm thinking maybe she didn't like me and that I'm just making a fuss way too early. I'm also scared that we talked so much that I won't have more topics to talk about. But I really, really like this girl. She's everything I look for in a woman, and that is here. I obviously don't want to fuck that up. What should I do? I need to start working on how tight.
This guy stinks.
After one date.
Bro, listen, hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and go because you already said what I was thinking, bro. Let me go ahead and take this first. Fellas. It's time to get y'all stuff together. I'm gonna let Will's gonna smooth this over for me, but I'm about to be a little bit evil right now. I will never understand why you guys do these kind of things on dates. I'm going to tell you right now, just by you writing that much and being that invested, you already lost the game, bro. Because when you are with a woman initially for the first time, you always want to care a little bit less than she does. That's not saying that you can't show interest. That's not saying you don't be a gentleman. That's not saying that you be rude or mean to her. But at the same time, women got to wonder about you. It's a scientific fact that women are attracted to men's feelings who are unclear. So he made a couple of mistakes on this date, first of all. The first thing is you saying that you really, really like her. My G, you went on one date. How do you know that you like this woman? One date is not enough for you to show if you're compatible with somebody. It always goes down to this. You have a lack of options and you don't put yourself out there. Ask yourself this question honestly and answer it. If you had 3 or 4 other women that you were talking to that were as attractive as her, blowing your phone up, would you be writing this paragraph? Exactly. 2, you made yourself way too available. Why the hell are you going on a 7-hour first date? Now, if the vibes are vibing, y'all moving towards something, cool. But for you to be sitting there saying, hey, I don't know what to do, and should I kiss her, stuff like that, it shows me that you don't know how to seduce women. Your first date for most guys, unless the vibes are immaculate, should be 2 hours tops. Because it gives you enough of a sample size to see that if you guys are compatible, and then you kind of remove your presence and let the woman wonder and think about you, bro. 7 hours, you ain't getting no sex is way, way, way too much time. And
He ain't got shit going on either.
But facts.
He ain't got no motion.
And third of all, you're saying that you don't know if you should have kissed her. My guy, one of the paramount rules of pickup artistry back in the day was this concept called ABC. Always be closing. And what that means is that it's your job as a man to move the interaction forward. It's your job to approach. It's your job to plan the date. It's your job to seduce the woman. Why the hell are you saying you don't know if you're gonna kiss her or not, bro? Take the opportunity. You're a man. Grab your nuts and make a move, bro. A woman will let you know automatically she's not feeling it. And if she's not feeling it, that's cool. Back off, take your L, and go on to other prospects. To sum this up, my G, you already lost. You're going to F this up. Stop being so invested. And when you make women invest into you and they want to, she should be writing that about you, not the other way around. So you already lost, my G. Go ahead and take this L. Anybody else got anything? Go.
You want to go?
I ain't got much to say. I mean, he took it over, but you also got to have a level of being nonchalant too. Like you can't just be all head over heels, and she gonna know that, bro. And I think it was you, TK, that said something like the girls they fart and shit just like us. Yeah. so it's like, bro, like she could be special, but she ain't that much more special than all the other ones.
Bro,
Dude, that's fucked up, but that's kind of the mindset you have to have, bro. Like you just can't have that energy in the beginning, bro.
And women just not
making her wet, bro.
This is a human concept. People value what they work for. And you just giving her all your attention, your time, and everything just on a silver platter. Why are you doing it, bro? Now this is we might disagree with somebody. Actually, Alex, you go first. What do you think, Alex?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, no, it was actually a lot. It was way too much. And I mean, I kind of agree with everything you said. Is first of all, no reason that you should be on a 7-hour date. It's a bit excessive.
That's
Crazy.
I feel like he's one of the type of guys of obviously he doesn't have anything else going on, but you know how there's sometimes the girls that go out on a date and they'll be like, gosh, I see myself marrying him and we're gonna have like he's one of those people that jumps to conclusions and doesn't even think about anything. So you already know he makes a bunch of irrational decisions in his life. Because that's kind of crazy to feel so strongly about somebody you haven't even known.
Look at her talking that talk. All right, Will, you got the floor, man. And you can disagree or agree with us all you want to.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. 7-hour date is crazy.
Yeah.
First of all, like you gotta have something going on. Like it's do 7 hours of just straight talking. You didn't even get a kiss or nothing. I'm not saying you even had to have sex or nothing, but and you contemplated about you wanted a kiss. First of all, I don't think anybody gonna spend 7 hours with you if they not feeling you to an extent.
Shit, women will.
It depends. Some people, it depends. Like everybody gonna vary. Like some people just like the attention, and then some people genuinely fuck with you. It's just a matter of what you get. Can you determine what you get? Not really. You just got to be able to like see it. Like,
I mean, and this is why I disagree with you, bro. A woman will spend 7 hours with a dude if a dude's paying for the date, giving them time and attention. And like, I ask this question all the time. You see, our goal as men, generally speaking, not all, but most, we want to get as much sex without giving up time. Women, you got to reverse it with them. They want as much of your time without giving up sex. Yeah. So they'll have you spending time, attention, money, all that stuff on them. But when it's time to get that vagina, they like, ain't about to happen. So that's why I just tell people, men, to value their time, because a girl will let you take her on 3 or 4 dates. She'll let you buy her stuff from the mall. She'll let you talk to her about all the dudes she's smashing and not smashing you. They don't have a point where they cut things off. Like, you know what? I took enough of this man's time and not giving no sex. I'm gonna go ahead and leave him alone. They be like, nah.
They get as much out of you as they possibly can.
Facts.
So you finally realize it. So you finally stand on your own self-worth and respect. And a lot of men don't ever do that shit. A lot of
facts,
people been chasing the same woman for years because they keep getting drained, stuff like that.
Some people even 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
go ahead, bro. Hey, you wild, Alex. You know what you're talking about, right? No, I'll tell you.
Yes, you do.
You do.
Yeah, some people just keep doing it, but 7 hours is crazy. And for somebody to have that big of an impact on you that fast and that set amount of time,
you're wild.
Like you don't have much going on in your life. Like it's okay to be like, okay, I like that girl from that date, but to like write a whole paragraph about her, she causing you anxiety of whether or not you should text her or not. Like, bro, she got way too much power over you, and I feel like you would be in a pit if she would have just didn't even respond to your text or never even hit you up again. Like,
maybe it was his first date ever.
but yeah, it does show like, I would say, a lack of experience, a lack of not having a lot going on. I feel that to an extent. Like, sometimes you do get certain experiences, and it's like it's something new, and it just like feel good. But yeah.
So can I say this, bro? I want people to not confuse my words, because I think that a genuine connection, as a girl would say, that really actually is really rare. Like, there's some chicks you just vibe with automatically, and there's some you just kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, this is cool. Just let me beat this joint real quick. But with that being said, bro, I'm so good to a point now where if you watch somebody long enough, you have enough experience, you can already tell what they got going on, what they don't got going on. Women are masters at being like emotionally calculated. So like y'all saying, they're going to sit back and pick and dissect the situation. They're going to say, okay, he spent 7 hours on a date with me. That means he ain't got nothing going on. He was scared to kiss me. That means he's not sexually confident in the bedroom. He's already writing all these paragraphs about me. That means he cares too much. Because like, just by you being that just involved and invested in the first couple minutes, I can tell that you were probably doing way too much on the date, and women are masters at picking up on that stuff. So with my experience now, bro, I can go into the gym and look at somebody, because me and C-Money both work out pretty often. I can look at somebody when they go to the bench and they load up 315. I can look at them and tell how many reps they're going to do, if they're going to do it right, and if they're going to like basically get tired fast or not, because I have so much experience with that. Women are the same exact way. They know how to pick out thirsty dudes that are simps, without you even saying much. So I just tell guys all the time, just guard your, as Coach Greg Adams would say, guard your meat. Pause.
Protect your meat. Protect your meat.
Jesus.
I said pause.
It's an acronym though. It's an acronym though. You
This
know
nigga
what it stands for?
Yeah, money, energy, attention, and time. Come on, man.
He wasn't just saying like
Coach CGA. Shout out Coach CGA.
Protect your
man.
beef. He wasn't saying that's crazy.
But I also
like the actual.
yeah.
That would have been wild. Like,
I also want to say I think he made himself too available for her too early, if that makes sense. Just because the date was so long and he didn't seem like he had anywhere to go or anything to do.
Don't women want you to match energy though? Apply pressure.
You guys are hilarious.
cater to her.
She's a queen.
Okay. All right.
You need to apply pressure.
I already said this morning. You messing up, man.
Oh, my fault.
All right, man. So look,
BDE.
BDE.
You know what that is?
Please don't say it. We got
I'm
enough.
not saying it.
We got enough pauses in here.
I'm not saying it.
Oh! I'm
Come on,
tweaking.
man.
Yes, I did.
Slow ass. How the girl in the room don't know what that means?
Shut up.
So,
Anyway.
Will, you a young dude, right? Do you think you eventually want to have a girlfriend or a wife, or do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay. Do you want one eventually?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
For sure.
I think that marriage is probably the best thing for society. But with me, I'm not opposed to getting married, but I definitely want to be a conventional one. My biggest thing right now is just not having the state involved in, your affairs and things like that. Because James Sexton, who's like a fire divorce attorney, he always says that how marriage is the most like significant thing you're going to do in your life other than die. But the masses aren't really educated about like what marriage actually entails, as far as the asset splits, alimony laws, what that entails with tax code, things like that. And I think that most people kind of want to go in more with an ideal thing of what marriage is than the actual reality of it. Because sometimes when you're in a partner, you're going to not like that person.
Yeah.
You're going to actually want to kill that person sometimes. And we kind of get into these points where like in short sprints of relationships, like, you know, be with this person for 1 year here, 2 years here, 6 months here, not realizing that marriage is supposed to be a lifetime commitment.
That shit is crazy, bro.
And we throw things away so easy
So
this
quick.
generation. Most people have no staying power. You see it with your goals and everything, bro. How many people you know have been in content creation but will start doing it for a week or two and then fall off?
All the time, I see
All
that
the
shit.
time, yeah.
In the gym, the same exact way.
All the
Somebody
time.
will go in 2 or 3 weeks, do something good, and then like a month later they gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no staying power anymore. Bro.
Ask a chick. Well, I mean, even dudes too. Ask somebody why they cut somebody off. They've been dealing with for a while. It's gonna be a dumbass reason more than likely,
Yeah.
especially
Like I
girls.
said, like
Y'all
I
be
s-
cutting dudes off for the dumbest shit.
Don't get me started.
Facts.
Yeah, like I said, bro, it's a willingness to work with that person, bro. Honestly, like, can you? Like, I feel like as guys, you can be with a girl and recognize if you're willing to change for her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, there's some girls I've dealt with where they might ask me to do something, or they might ask me to change the aspect of my life, and I'm unwilling to do that. But I feel like
Good
when
man.
you find someone who actually, if you got your head on straight, and you actually find someone who you could say they add this and this to my life, they allowed me to express how I feel without like feeling like I'm being judged or feeling like I have to hold myself back or that I can't speak up for myself without it leading to an argument or some type of fight. If we can see a problem and go at it together, if we can work as a team and be like, okay, I see this issue within you, or I see this issue within our relationship and I'm willing to work through it. If they don't see that, they're going to give up at the first sight of adversity or at the first sight of things not going the way they want it to go, when they want it to go. That's another thing. A lot of people expect people to come as they want them to be, not realizing that the person you often want, when you find someone who's like might got some of those attributes you want, the rest you got to kind of grow into. And when you growing into someone you've never been before, bro, it's expected you're gonna make mistakes. It's expected you're not gonna have it all figured out. So can you see those adversity points where I may fall down, where I may make a mistake, where I may say and or do the wrong thing? Can you see that and be like, okay, we can work on this. We can communicate and build into what we want it to be, what we need it to be in order for this relationship to work. And a lot of people sometimes might not see you as worth putting in the effort towards and actually trying to make that change with. Like some people not going to see you as worth changing for.
Can I be honest too, though, bro? And I think that marriage in of itself is a very beautiful thing, especially when you make a vow between man and wife and like God. But here's my problem with, I'm gonna just say it, women, is you see that a man, we are more prone to things like honor, respect, a sense of duty. We like a man for the most part, he can go to the gym, come home, watch Netflix, eat the same meal, and pretty much live a comfortable baseline life. Women, for the most part, don't work that way. Women sometimes need a little bit of chaos and emotional like instability to keep themselves involved. And when a creature that's that prone to emotional instability, I have a hard time trusting because we all done seen it, bro. We done all had a girl that told us, you know what, I love you, I'll never leave you, the best thing that ever happened to me. Where's she at now? Bro, I will show you. I got a whole drawer full of letters upstairs of women saying that exact stuff to me. And granted, I'm not saying I was perfect in that situation because I wasn't. But I just know that what a woman says, she says and means in that moment. When a girl loves you right now, don't mean it's going to apply to the next minute, the next year, the next second. They're just too prone to emotional instability, bro. And even the good ones. One of my favorite things is I always say all girls need a little bit of toxic. And toxic to some women is a man that has to come up and yell at them, get in their face, and just be disrespectful. Toxic to another is just, hey, stop playing with me. So when you have a woman, a creature that's prone to emotional instability, I just have a hard time trusting them because the only thing I can trust them to do is to be a woman, bro. Even the good ones. And I say if men are going to get married, I think it's a beautiful thing. but just make sure you protect yourself and protect your resources. Because if a girl really loves you, she'll have no problem signing a prenup. And if you're a man of honor and of integrity, you'll make sure that if she signs that prenup, then you'll make sure that you'll still take care of her when it's all said and done. Like, I don't care if the woman that has my children, if we don't work out long term, I still take care of her because that's the honor that I bestowed upon you. You're the mother of my children. Whether we work out or not, I'm still going to look out for you.
Facts.
But I just think it's an ideal thing in a very unideal world, bro. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. That's why I was going back to saying how I think. Well, I think it's kind of different for me just because I kind of study this stuff and kind of like I like getting involved in the like emotions and things like that. Like, so I'm not expecting that for everybody.
Sure.
But with me, it's like I can peep when somebody it's a thing where people come used to a certain thing. So when people are used to toxic relationships, when they're getting into a relationship, they now expect certain things to be within that. So I've always dealt with toxic people and shouting, yelling, reacting through emotions and feelings, just complaining about the problem rather than fixing the problem, or just trying to get my point across and try and win an argument rather than solve an issue. Now people come into that relationship with that expectation, and anything different or something that's healthy, like me, I'm not a person who argues. I'm a calm person. Again, like I state the problem. I'm like, okay, how could we work through this? Like, what are you feeling? What emotions are you feeling? And then usually behind that emotion or that feeling is a backstory to their past. So whether that they could have grown up with a dad always yelling, they could have not had a dad at all. They could have
dealt with a Tyrone, Pookie, and Ray Ray.
Their past relationships could have been them always just blaming each other. Like everything kind of relates to the past, to where anything that's actually healthy is now uncomfortable and seems like something's wrong. And what it is now I don't have control. Now I don't know what to expect. Now I'm stepping into the unknown, and I don't feel that sense of being able to operate in it, if that makes sense. So a lot of people, so here's the difference between a comfort zone and kind of stepping into the unknown. And it's simply control. So you might have always dealt with a type of woman where you kind of know what BS is going to come at you. Like you kind of know what to expect, or you constantly go to the gym and you just like, you know how the pain, like you adapt to the pain, you adapt to going at a certain time. But when you kind of start trying to do something new, or you're stepping into something that's new. So for me, it might be starting a business or whatever, or starting content creation, for example. Like you're stepping into that unknown. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what type of hate comments are going to come. And so it's just a matter of, can you recognize that something's just like different from what you've always known it to be? And are you willing to work through it, knowing that it's something that's actually healthy? So I've dealt with a woman specifically who always, her whole life, she's tried to be in control of every situation she's been in. She, I don't want to throw her name out.
No, you're about to go.
But so I'll specifically tell the story. So recently she broke her collarbone, and so now she's had to rely on her parents coming and helping her out with certain things. Like she's not in control. She already has to tell other people how to like basically help her, whether that's like getting her dressed, whether that's just doing certain things. So now she's not in control as she usually is. She's not able to do the things that she wants to do when she wants to do them. And so now it's uncomfortable. It's very frustrating. But in this instance, it's not something she could run from. It's something where that's essentially might be the lesson or the purpose. I like to find purpose in things. So whether something's going good or bad in my life, I like to say, okay, what's the lesson I need to learn here? What's the purpose of this event going on? And when something triggers you, when something bothers you, it usually points you to something that you can grow within yourself. That's so nice. The fact that you having your collarbone broke is pointing you towards something. And it's like making you mad at stuff, like your mom, having to ask your mom to do stuff. It's showing like, okay, there's a lesson to be learned here. Something that you've always been used to that isn't here anymore, that you can't usually do. Like something out of your normal routine, you're no longer able to do. And for her, it was always being in control, whether that was just avoiding her feelings, avoiding her problems, avoiding talking to people. I was sitting there talking to her. She was like, yeah, when I was younger, my parents were divorced. And so I would go from house to house every week, she said. And so I would be with my dad one week and we might have a problem, but it was like I would never handle that problem. So I would just go to my mom's house the next week and never address the problem. So she got in that habit of constantly being able to avoid those tough conversations, those
I mean, that makes sense, bro.
but yeah, those tough conversations, those tough problems. And now when she gets into a relationship, now she's ghosting people because she's never learned how to deal with those tough conversations or those tough problems. Now she's so disconnected from her emotions because she always ran from her emotions that she didn't know how to even express herself. Expressing herself is uncomfortable and it puts her in a place of not being able to be in control because she's stepping into a state that she's not known, like she doesn't know how to operate in. She don't know how to operate her emotions.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Would you deal with a woman like that?
I dealt with a woman like that. And it's with this person specifically, I was able to break into that. She was willing to make a change, if that makes sense. So she was willing to recognize that she was bad with emotions, that she avoided conflict, that she avoided tough conversations, and that usually she responded out of emotions or just leaving. And I got her in a state where she was starting to express herself, where she really break down crying in front of me, saying like, oh, this is my background, this is why I do this. I like being in control, and now I'm struggling with not being able to be in control. So I was able to break it down to an extent, but at the same time, that's not my responsibility.
And that's what I was going to say, bro. Like the stuff that you're saying is like really, really good stuff.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's a little bit of, what's the word, Alex? Is it naivety? Naivety?
Naive?
It's I'm trying to say naive, but it's like naivete, something like that. But it's a little bit of naiveness in there, bro. And what I'm saying, not to be disrespectful, but I just think it's going to be certain things that you're going to have to kind of like learn through experience than necessarily through just so much theory. Because bro, your theory and everything is on point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that you're gonna have to go through a little bit of more damage before you really start seeing that the world really isn't as ideal when it comes to relationships as some things are. Because when I was your age, bro, I probably was thinking the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
You a smart dude, bro, but you gonna figure it out, man. I have no problems with that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got the Shadow Illusions podcast in your back pocket now. You gonna talk about a hoe or something, man. You let me know. We kick it to you real over here, man. We'll keep it real. We'll keep it real.
But yeah,
exactly.
Screaming. Okay.
But yes, I'm saying, oh, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's not my responsibility.
That's what I was gonna say.
So I can bring awareness to somebody where they might be having an issue or a problem, but it's not my problem to fix. And again, they have to be willing to go through that process of trying to make a change.
Yeah.
And you can never take responsibility for somebody else's self-growth. You can help them through the process with them being willing to do it. They might be like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. How do I kind of navigate through this? Can you help me like figure out where in my past? Like, I feel like I'm good with question part. I feel like I'm a good listener. I know how to ask the right questions in order to get the right information.
I feel like that you are, yeah.
And so when I'm able to just ask the right questions, then they can kind of discover things within themselves, kind of like going to therapy or something. Like, I won't say I'm a therapy for someone. Well, to an extent in a relationship, you kind of do want to be sometimes, because
to a certain
that's what helps y'all build and kind of just like grow together. But yeah, it's not my responsibility. Again, I don't try and control other people's self-growth or other people's trauma, because it's something they have to heal within themselves and be willing to heal within themselves. So
I think that's kind of a good place to kind of put a bow on everything. This has been great, bro. But before we leave, you gotta do what we always do and put you on a hot seat. You gotta answer these questions as fast as possible. No ums, no ahs, nothing like that. So you ready?
yeah. So
Who is the best motivational speaker of all time?
Tony Robbins.
I was gonna say Tony Robbins too. I mess with Tony Robbins. Okay. Should men or women lead the relationship?
Man,
What is love?
I would say love is a choice.
TikTok or Instagram?
It's TikTok.
Is it ever okay to call a woman a hoe?
Personally, no.
Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden,
Does a chicken have lips?
no.
Is one drunk man smarter than two women with PhDs?
No.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Listen, man. Go ahead, plug your Instagram, your podcast, whatever you got going on. You coming out with some kind of mindset coaching and everything too, right?
Yeah,
2024?
so I have a mindset coaching program that's coming out. So basically it teaches people how to change their perception on both themselves and the world around them. The problems and adversities they have, problems and adversities that are inevitable in life. Those are inevitable in life. Pain is inevitable. So rather than playing victim to those things, suffering through those things, learning how to navigate them, learning how to turn what seems like a loss into a win, think more positively of yourself, get rid of those limiting beliefs of I can't or I am this because of whatever. So that's kind of what my mindset coaching program centered around. Also coming out with a community, a private community that kind of does the same thing. It'll be a challenge in there, a self-discovery challenge.
I love it.
That kind of goes, it'll be like a 15-week challenge. That kind of takes you through a series of journal prompts and questions that essentially tells my story of how I kind of broke myself down from that rock bottom point, or when I was at that rock bottom point, and built myself into the person that I am now. Kind of the things I learned along the way, the questions I asked myself, and how to just basically the challenge is supposed to get you to change, have a more positive self-image of yourself, figure out how to respond your inner world to the outer world around you, how to be in control of the things you're in control of, regardless of what the things out of your control kind of come and do to you. So people's opinions of you, what people do to you, what people say about you, all those things are out of your control. But it's like a matter of how you respond to them that really matters, how you perceive them that really matters, and can determine like your emotions and feelings and like your happiness and stuff like that.
When do you plan to have it out by?
This is going to be out within the next 2 weeks. That private community, that'll be out within the next 2 weeks.
Bro, let us know when you release it. We'll go ahead and repost it and everything too, bro. And tell the people about your TikTok, your YouTube, Instagram, all that.
TikTok is Will Keep It Real with the 2 at the end. Instagram is Will Keep It Real with the 1 at the end. And my YouTube is Will Keep It Real.
Awesome, bro. All his links will be down below. Alex, last thoughts. Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye, people. I think it was a great show. Guys were amazing. You have such a lot of knowledge for being so young. So great job there for sure.
My co-host with the most, C. Marty Fit.
Yeah, great show, man. You're ahead of your time for sure. So keep working, and I'm gonna take a look at your content. You left a great impression here. So, and go ahead, follow your boy C. Marty Fit, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, if you wanna unbig the back, get rid of the belly. Whatever your summer goals are, holla at your boy. Tune into the podcast. You're gonna learn something.
Saw some big backs today.
Anyway.
See big backs every day. We live in America.
Hey, Will, bro, thank you for your time. Thank you for being on time, man. And like I said, bro, we here. Whatever we can help you do to grow your business, your brand. You want to just come down, sit with the ladies sometimes, come down while we film. You're more than welcome to, bro. Sure. Just let us know how we can help you. But camera on me. That'd be like all our time to the next time. This is the Shattered Illusionz podcast. Kill the fantasy, build the dream. We are out of here. Love y'all, boys.
Will I take you to the greatest shop?
Good job, Alex.